Welcome to today's online tutorial class. If you're preparing for 2025 JAMB, like I've said, it's important that you prepare with past questions that have been asked by JAMB itself. That would help you to fully prepare your confidence for success in that exam. You are expected to answer 40 questions. So every question that you get correctly takes you 2.5 marks, close to your 100 score in that subject. So I would advise that you pay good attention as we learn together in this class. So out of the 40 2024 Utme preparatory question, I'm going to treat 5 with you in this class, then we'll take another 5 in the subsequent class. Question number 1. The long run is a period during which a firm dash. Option A, sells input to purchase fixed assets. Option B, varies all its inputs. Option C, source all its input from within. Option D, replaces all its input. Now in economics, we always talk about the short run and the long run. Every organization or firm, because they've established to you here that it is a firm, every firm is involved in production and every firm needs input. What you do with your input after mixing it with labor and every other thing, what you produce is what we call your output. Your input could either be a fixed input or a variable input. Your fixed input are things that you buy once, you use for a long period of time before you can change them. Your variable input are things that you use every now and then. In fact, there are some that you recycle every day or every week or every month. In a short run of a firm, there are fixed inputs and there are variable inputs because that period is not long enough to be able to vary all your inputs. However, in the long run, all factors of production is variable. You can change everything. You will notice that most of the organizations, big organizations that you have today, where they start is not where they are today. Maybe they started in Kwara State. By the time they grow, expand, they see that their market is majorly in Lagos. They get a new land, which is a fixed factor of production in Lagos, and build a new factory in Lagos. The car a company is using today, after 10 years or 15 years, they will get a new one. They will get a bigger car that can serve the new or bigger purpose, as the case might be. So the major thing that makes the long run unique is that in the long run, all factors of production is variable. So your right answer to this question is option B, which says that all inputs can be varied. So it's a period where an organization can vary all its inputs. Question 2. A firm's shut down point is reached when the average revenue fails to cover the A, average variable cost, B, marginal cost, C, average total cost, D, average fixed cost. That's interesting. I think for you to be able to answer this question effectively, the best thing is for you to be able to understand what each of these costs is. What is total cost? The total cost is the sum of your variable cost and your fixed cost. So your average total cost is the total cost per one variable that you produce. Is that clear? Now, your average total cost is the sum of your average fixed cost plus your average variable cost. Like we have said in question 1, your fixed costs are the cost on those factors of production that you cannot vary. Like the cost of land. If you bought your land for 100,000 naira and you produce 1 million item, your average fixed cost will be that 1 million item divided by 100,000 naira, which will mean your average fixed cost on every item that you produce and you are selling will be 10 naira. Do you get that? Now, on the other hand, your total variable cost divided by the quantity which you have produced is what gives us your average variable cost. So those both gives you your average total cost. Now, your marginal cost is the cost you incur in producing an additional 1 unit of a product. Are you here with me? Let's say you have produced 1 million output. You want to produce extra 1 unit. The costs you used in producing that extra 1 unit to make it 1,000,001 is the marginal cost. So now, your average revenue, you see, because to make profit, you have to compare your revenue to your cost. Your revenue is what amount you generate by selling your total output. That is your total revenue. Your average revenue is what amount you generate by selling 1 unit of the product. So that is the average revenue. If I sell 1 unit of a bottle of Coke for 100 naira, that is my what? That is my average revenue. Now, if the extra amount it is costing me going forward to produce that 1 bottle is 150 naira or 120 naira, it means my marginal cost is more than my average revenue. Are you getting the point? So at that point, I'm never going to break even. I'm going to shut down. So what determines if a firm should continue producing is not necessarily its average total cost. It's not necessarily its average variable cost, not necessarily its average fixed cost, but the marginal cost. Because that is the functional operation that is going on at the moment. Those average fixed costs, average total fixed costs, average variable costs are already predetermined. But to continue production, what you consider or to use in comparing your average revenue basically is your marginal cost. The moment your marginal cost is more than your average revenue, the rule or the suggestion is that the company should shut down. Otherwise, you are going to find yourself in a trouble. Let's quickly look at question number 3. A disadvantage of concentrating industry in an area is that it could A. lead to collusion among the firm, B. result in environmental pollution, C. bring about diseconomies of scale, D. increase the cost of production. Are we together? A and D is not the answer. The answer is between B and C. So basically, when there is concentration of industry in an area, the major problem it creates is an environmental pollution. That is the challenge places like Lagos, Port Harcourt faces. Because there are too many concentration of industries in those places have to go through what we call an environmental pollution. So the right answer here is B. Let's go to question 4. The capital market is a market for trading of financial assets such as A. bankers' acceptance, B. treasury bills, C. long-term securities, D. commercial papers. Now, every economy has the money market and has the capital market. The money market is majorly where you set short-term financial assets or securities. Like treasury bills majorly, and you have other securities as the case might be. But the capital market majorly is the market where long-term financial assets like stocks, bonds, and the rest of others are being sold. So the correct answer here is going to be C. Okay, it's a market where long-term securities are sold. That basically is the right answer. It could be treasury certificate, it could be bonds, it could be a mutual fund. So basically these are long-term security. Now the 5th question, which is going to be our last question for this class. In a demand curve, the relationship between price and the quantity is A. indeterminate, B. direct, C. nil, and D. inverse. Don't forget that, like they always say, the higher the demand, the lower the price. And the higher the price, the lower the demand. Let me explain it in a way that you easily understand. If I have 100 naira and a loaf of bread is 10 naira, I can buy how many loaves? I can buy 10 loaves of bread. But if the price of the loaf of bread increase to 20 naira, how many breads can I buy? I can now buy 5 breads. So you will see that as the price increase, the demand goes down. So there is an inverse relationship between price and demand. So your right answer here is going to be D. All right, so if you have answered these 5 questions correctly, you've already gotten about 12.5 marks. That is how easy to make your success in your JAMB. In the next class, we're going to treat the next 5 questions for 2025 preparatory JAMB question for UTME. So please don't forget to subscribe to this channel, Mindexploits Educational Consult, and tell your friend that is writing JAMB 2025 Economics that this is the best place to get best explanation as to getting the right answers as you prepare for your JAMB exam. Thank you and enjoy the rest of your day.